Good morning from Sacred Space at Titania's Realm. It's 10:01 a.m. on the 11th of September 2024. Why I'm smiling is 10:01 makes an 11 and it's an 11 day. So our angels are calling us to pay attention to, surprises and sweetnesses and messages from the multiverse that might come to you quickly or unexpectedly. Take delight in all that is, was, and never shall be, even if it's in your own small isness, your own soul, your own magic that is you. It's a powerful day today. I can feel it in my bones. It's going to be a wonderful day today. Every day's a wonderful day, but some are more wonderful than others. Had a good long sleep. I slept for 9 hours, so I was fairly exhausted yesterday, and I'm still coughing up the occasional bit of slime off my chest. So back on Marlene tea I go, which knocks me around a fair bit, makes me very tired and depleted indeed, but got to drive that demon out of me. Keep driving that demon out of me. So I've been up since, I think it was 8 o'clock I woke up. Yes, that's correct. So, I'm awake and I'm happening in a far out way. My hair's gone all buffy and fluffy, and probably should blow wave it how my hairdresser blow waves it, so it's all straight and kind of alluring. But sometimes I like it fluffy too, but it's just a bit buffy on top. But anyway, it's hair, it serves its purpose. Anyway, what do I have to say about today? Anything particular? Not really. Put Charlie outside. I've brought in some washing. Just moving through life as always. One day at a time, sweet Moses. So let us continue with today's readings of Even Date. It's titled, that'll be from a year ago. I am not a square, even when I sell at Kuparu Square. Sell. Never mind. Happy with my new venture out into the retail world. I was very happy because it was very brave and audacious of me. I hadn't been to a market in 30 years, and I don't like markets. I find them stressful, actually. So it was very brave and audacious, and anyway, it didn't work out. A lot of very strange, almost demonic things happened that were very off-putting for me. Some horrible man screaming at his little boy trying to set up a lemonade stall on the street, and then directing his envy and viciousness and anger to me. Oh, it was awful. But anyway, these things happen to me. They're never accidental. It's because I'm a shaman and I'm put in that place by the multiverse to just sometimes stand like the Vitruvian woman between one dimension and the other and send direct messages to people in that space. And maybe it makes changes, maybe it doesn't, because some people are just so filthy and rotten and evil. You don't always get through to them, is what I'm saying. But anyway, it is what it is. And I kind of got used by the multiverses that day, on a day when I was already in high peak anxiety and trying to, set up my little stall and sell my jewellery. And I got sabotaged in the most profound, dark way yet again. Like I'm sabotaged with everything. When I'm not sabotaging myself, I'm sabotaged by others. And I might even, have to start wearing my Deify t-shirt again. or get a t-shirt that says sabotage is not for sissies or something like that. I'm so sick of it. I'm so sick of being sabotaged by evil, malfeasant cunts. And then my own fears and anxieties cause me to very often sabotage as well. So there is that. But you know, my instincts are usually on point. So sometimes I sabotage, and it's actually a good thing because it saves me worse griefs down the track. So I'm happy about it. I'm happy about it, setting myself free from people who are superficial and false. It's literally like chewing your arm off, especially when you love people deeply. What can you do? You know they were just going to drag you along by the nose for as long as you went along with it in your little manic denialist sweetnesses. Oh, I'd be crying right now, but I don't have the energy even left to cry. It's been done to me too many times. So, and I don't have the energy even left to be angry. I guess I'm just comfortably numb without, obliterating myself in heroin, which I think that's what that song's really about. But you know what I'm saying. There comes a time when you've watched the game unfold and you've even taken delight in it because you actually bought into the fantasy and thought, oh, how sweet, how gorgeous, how lovely. And then you've watched the mirage just dissipate right in front of your eyes, as it always does, darlings. So, but real loves don't perform mirages or play games. Real loves show you by thoughts and words and actions their true loving intentions towards you. And I guess I did have that for 12 months. Being welcomed and included. The Clayton's wife, am I right? Well, you kind of have to laugh. Everything comes into balance and equilibrium and finds its own settling and balancing and harmonic resonance. So all is not yet lost, the spirits say to me, but they like to tweak me and stir me up and send me back out there hoping against hope, because it's entertaining for them too. They derive much pleasure and delight from watching me stumble around, fucking up all the time, loving people incapable of loving me. It's hilarious. I might write a book about it one day, or a TV series. Oh well, it's up here on YouTube, isn't it? My daily rantings and ravings and ramblings. It's very, very entertaining for people. But here's me at the Coorparoo Square, which I'm sure that place is cursed. Nothing ever thrives there, really. Well, so many shopping centres have failed there in the past. I'm triumphant and happy, thinking in my mad delusions that I might become a businesswoman and succeed. Oh. Well, anyway, I was a businesswoman and a success till my marriage broke down. But, I was carrying too many burdens. I was carrying a man that didn't really love me and was sadistic and vicious, backstabbed me to all my customers, even, reps that came from Ingham's Chicken, and who didn't he badmouth me to? It was so disloyal, so disloyal. That's why I promised myself I would never marry again. There's nothing worse than lying in bed and fucking a man who actually hates you. Bottom line. Lies to your face how much he loves you and wants you, but he's chipping away at you day by day by day until you've got nothing left to even chip away at. Motherfucker. But I'm okay. It was a long time ago. I had worse monsters after him, far worse, and yet I'm still okay because I've put in the work, the grieving, the therapy, the magical incantations, the dancing till I'd almost die, the self-healing, mulling tea by the gods. I wrote something about love on Facebook, but I've just realised I haven't copied it across to Vocal Media, so I can't read it out to you again. But anyway, I guess it doesn't matter. I spoke about the need to love in such a way that you feel free to be with each other in freedom and great joy, great peace, great delight, choosing each other every day and every night, wholeheartedly. No scraps or crumbs or breadcrumbing. No illusions or delusions. No little bits of nothing that you hold on to like a life raft because you haven't been loved much in your life. And so even to me, a scrap of love is the greatest jewel that someone can offer me. And it's lovely, but it's not real love. Real love. Not scraps and crumbs and people wanting to run off to the strippers. That man's craving freedom and sees me as a symbol of freedom, which I am. But I paid the price for my freedom. Do you, my gorgeous, beloved, sweet one, want to pay that same price? Is it worth it to you to take those kind of risks? I don't think so. I don't think it's really what you're wanting. It's just a fantasy. It's just an illusion. It's a mirage. Truly free women like me threaten you. We're a threat to you. Well, I get that too. I'm a threat to my own self, choosing freedom over and beyond love each and every time when things start to get a little bit weird. I get triggered and I get weirded out. So the gnawing off of the arm begins. Just once in my life, I'd love to be loved by a man that I don't feel I need to escape from. Ever. Because I'm safe with him. And he proves it to me. Daily and nightly. Will that ever occur? I don't think so. Look at my friendships, all crumbling into dust simultaneously. In the past week. Bing, bang, boom, babies. Bing, bang, boom. Mama T is a canary down the mine. When this happens, there's a pattern of this happening. It means there's some serious fucking shit about to happen in our world. And we're going to need each other to survive. But I know that when crises happen in my life, no one's there for me. Like when my dog died. No one was there for me on that day. That darkest day. One of the darkest days of my life, actually. One friend was running around some fucking park somewhere. The other one, a co-pit. I love them both dearly, don't get me wrong. But I'm well aware what happened that day. It was the most profound evil. It's like we were under some kind of cosmic attack as well as my dog dying. There was something just so astonishingly evil about that day. Maybe because I was in a heightened state, or maybe because it was a full-blown attack. I don't know. But anyway, the dog is dead. And just over a year and a month later, some very key friendships of mine are now dead. And I have to rip the Band-Aid off and start the grieving process again. Don't you think it's ridiculous? This constant bullshit that is my life. This is why those of you who have a little bit of gnosis should understand why sometimes I get suicidal. Because it's too much. It's too much living like this. Constantly. Well, I'm not going to suicide because it's pointless. The gods keep vomiting me back to earth for my happy ever after that never comes. You have to laugh. It's comical. It's just too insane and comical in a way. But anyway, the dark demon that dogged me since birth will have its way and hold its sway, and just for today, I'll keep breathing and reading my stories, am I right? So people can sit back and fold their arms and say, fuck, thank God I'm not her. Thank the gods I'm not her. All right, here we go. Enough porosity amongst the morosity. I'm leaking like a colander. Don't like leaking. I'll have to staunch the flow there too. Babies. How will I staunch it? Dance wildly on the weekend. Hope my lungs are better by Friday. I'll probably be okay. I've been sort of okay. Anyway, here we go. 11th of September 2023, 1 year ago. 7:52 a.m. A really bad night with my bladder. I was up all night. I had to pee 12 times. 10 times up until 4 a.m.ish when I finally got a bit of respite between pee breaks. Well, I haven't been too bad lately. I was only up twice last night. Twice is doable. Any more than that, and I start running some kind of mild psychosis from exhaustion. So anyway, here we go. I need to go to the skin cancer doctor for a regular skin check at 10:30 a.m. this morning. I feel wrung out like a husk. This is not good. Absolutely not. However, I had a lovely time last night, chatting to some old and new friends with Alfie and Mermaid, whom I know from many years ago on Pal Talk. I left them at 11 p.m, then got no peace with my bladder. That was also weird. I think it was the last time we chatted, a year ago. more superficiality than you can poke a stick at. It's fucked, is what it is. But never mind, you know. This getting older thing is quite confronting. I am exhausted. Oh well, another day blooms before me. I will have my check-up, then come home and go back to bed, methinks. 1:24 p.m. The skin doctor gave me the all clear. I immediately returned home and threw myself back into bed, which I must have been really fucking ill to do that, because I rarely do that anymore. I slept a bit more to recover from last night's epic bladder event. Exhausting. Glad that I've not developed any further skin cancers, although there is one on my left shoulder he says is okay, which I know is a pre-cancer. Life of the Tanya will go on as long as my bladder holds up. Well, 1 year later, it's holding up reasonably. I mean, thank the gods I'm not incontinent, and I'm getting up to pee less than I was, but I'm still having to get up. So maybe the CPAP's working, maybe it isn't, I don't know. I tell you what though, it's making me very mentally and emotionally kind of fragile and a little bit unstable, but I've been shaken and stirred in recent months. I've had everything thrown at me. Parking fines, Optus fights, you know, cracked windscreen, although I got through that, fixed it. But I'm now in debt because of that. What else went wrong? There were so many niggling little fucking things. So I've got to ride through that storm like a Viking berserker demon queen. And I'm watching everyone flail off, sloughing them all off all around me, which tells me my new life is about to begin, and only real and true friends and or a lover will be allowed to participate in the life of the Tanya. They're all being centrifuged out. There's been a lot of that in the last 4 years. A lot. Painful too. Very painful for me. Some of them were lying, you know, quite lovely friends in their day. Humans aren't humans anymore. This is the problem though. I'm not dealing with real mortals. And real mortals were problematic in their own way to begin with. So it's a bit humbling and terrifying, to be honest. But I'm a shaman and a witch and a Jew and a warrior goddess. And there's nothing new under the sun. It's not like I haven't fought through other, more dangerous, more life-threatening paradigms, alone with 2 little children. So, what do they say in Aussie? Don't come the raw prawn with me. So I'm far more intelligent and powerful than you give me credit for. Sometimes I don't even realise how powerful I am, running around feeling ill and dragging myself through, trying to work out what's going on with my world, my species, my planet. We're all aching and we're all purging and resurging. Life of the Tanya will go on as long as my bladder holds up. Maybe it won't. I'll have to think very carefully about where I'm going, what I want my life to be, who I want to be surrounded by. Not well today, but in the afternoon I finished wood burning, sanding and varnishing my wooden charity box. Actually, it was an ambulance box that actually had belonged to bucket the schmuck. I couldn't stand looking at it one moment longer, and it's peeling paint, and so I stripped all the paint off and made it mine for real. Titania's realm, am I right? Oh, it's a nice box though, you know. I even took it to the markets and put my money in it and used it for the purpose it was designed for. So waste not, want not, am I right? Don't waste your love and your heart. And don't waste your things. Use them or lose them. Give them away. Move the energy on. Let someone else take the joy and delight in them. But anyway, 11th of September 2022. My video got cut off at the end because my clock alarm went off, but yeah, what she said. However, they've removed the video, the idiot, so meh. Trigger warning. I did two brave things today. Started out at the Plant Lovers Market and tried to teach an abusive father that his child has worth and is indeed a good little boy. It's fucking tragic. I should have reported him actually. I'm sure that man was on something too. Evil he was. Evil. As usual, my connection with the gods has its own tremulous swings and roundabouts. But I'm grateful and contented that I went out into the world and tried to succeed with my art. I write that my first foray into selling at markets in 27 years. Got that a little bit wrong. Well, 30 years. Close enough, I suppose. 11th of September 2021. I wish to acknowledge all the souls who lost their lives at the Twin Towers and the Pentagon on September 11, 2001. Pardon me. And the ensuing and endless war on terror, which has bled into the current paradigm. I am so sorry. I wish we could have created a better, safer world. I can only hope and pray we make it through this epoch of the zombie apocalypse. Seek good and human and choose freedom and a life that is worth living. Peace, shalom, salam. (11th of September 2020). During the night I woke up to a line. My guardian angel steps forward to protect me and quips, "Don't worry, Tanya, we got this. We are legion." I had to laugh. Then I rolled over and went back to sleep. Bear in mind, I have watched thousands of horror and sci-fi movies and, since early childhood actually. So it's all in my psyche and it gets vomited up occasionally. Lines from, The Exorcist or other movies. It's dark, but it's all in there. And it actually was my superpower, having integrated all that darkness, so that when this last epoch came along, I could see clearly the demonic influences and the bullshit and the lies and the deceptions. Saved my life. Is my life worth saving anymore? Probably not. But it did save my life, says she, taking another sip of mullein tea. Yesterday, when Lynn visited, there was some significant spiritual activity, chez moi, which is kind of interesting that during the night I was told we allegiance, almost like, ha ha ha, we're surrounding you and, you know, we're going to drag you under. No, 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 no. Don't underestimate my angels, evil ones. They're far, far more powerful than you realise. Me bumbling around with my short, fat hobbit ass in dark spaces, living my very best life, loving my life, joyously celebrating my life like a demon. People don't realise I'm both light and dark. I can move between both worlds very easily. Bring me your darkness and I'll show you my light. Bring me your light. You may at times see, very often on YouTube lately I've noticed, my darkness. But ultimately, I'm a good woman. I try to live with honour and integrity, and when I slip, that too has a season and a reason, and therefore the centrifuging begins. I've been centrifuged out, and I know why. I know why. I know why. I very well know why. Here I am, flying free, babies. Hang on, we've got to do the spin. We've got to do the spin. Ready? Are you ready? Whee! Mama T. The front door, which was wide open, closed by itself. Yes, that was astonishing. Lynn and I were sitting on the couch when it happened, watching it happen, going, what the fuck, what the fuck? I wonder why they were around on that particular day, 11th of September 2020. I guess we were all whipped into a high peak emotional frenzy with the COVID nonsense, so we were all terrorised, and so together Lynn and I, with our psychic energies, must have manifested some kind of telekinetic event, or it actually was a spirit. One can never be 100% sure which way it goes, by the way. Anyway, we heard the deadlock latch make a light clicking sound. Then, a few minutes later, the door opened itself wide again, which technically is not possible since we heard it latch. And it's a heavy wooden door. So here I wrote, which is impossible as it was latched inside the mechanism. We both tested the door to see what caused the clicking sound, and I found the door quite hard to close, and when it latched, it makes a much deeper sound, more like a loud thud than a click. We had been talking about my mother. I showed Lynn the photo of Gisela that every time I put on display I get spiritual activity. Every time. My mother was a very powerful woman. Very astonishingly powerful. She could bilocate when she was alive. Very powerful. Frighteningly so at times. So after that ghostly or energetic manifestation, I burnt the fucking photo. Also the photo of Case's childhood home in Ouderkerk, der Amstel. But why am I carrying the energy of people who were nothing but predatory throughout my childhood? I've still got the frame though, because I'll show you what I did to it. Jared laughed. He laughed so much when he saw what I did to it. The house, it used to be landscape facing when it had the photo of his childhood home in it. But look, I made new latches out of copper pipe because I couldn't find them in the hardware store, so I made my own latches. And then I put this rather erotic photo in it because I don't know why, but anyway, I like that picture. And so I've preserved the frame. I went to burn the frame, and something, I don't think it was Case, but some ancestor said, please don't destroy that frame, just recycle it and use it. So I still haven't completely got rid of the energy attached to it because I've still got the frame. However, he cherished that frame with the photo in it, so it must have been maybe given to him by his mother or someone that he was very attached to. And when I went to destroy it, I found myself unable to. It was like my heart literally ached, like as if I was parting with something that I deeply loved, but I don't give a flying fuck about that thing per se. But then I realised, I thought, something wants me to keep it. I'm not going to fight it, I'll go with it, but I'll make it mine. Like I did with that ambulance box. I just put my own energy into it, remodeled it, made it truly mine. And then there was kind of a releasing, like a pressure cooker. It just kind of all left then, as if to say, right, we're satisfied that you've transmuted that energy and turned it into something that's going to be cherished and precious to you, or at least used by you, not just cast aside or thrown aside like garbage and abandoned and rejected. Am I right? There's a kind of a theme there in not being abandoned or rejected even by possessions, or that energy of wanting to be held sacred and cherished and loved. It's a bit odd, but that must be part of my my dharma. It's wanting to preserve memory and the love I've had with people, and sometimes blow life back into the dying embers and conflagrate it again. And sometimes you've got to accept when things are dead and need to stay dead and leave it there, like that evil shit fuckery I had with the former lover 10 years ago. You got to know when to let things die. It's like the song, the Gambler. You got to know when to walk away. You got to know when to run. You got to know when to count your money while you're sitting at the table. There'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. We're not talking about actual money or cards here. We're talking about cutting your losses and accepting when things are just going to only ever be a seeping, toxic, running, tampon, toxic, shock syndrome, fucking wound without end. Let the pus drain. Have a good wash. Have a course of antibiotics if you need it. And move the fuck on, babies. Because those kind of souls are only ever going to leech from you and leave you for dead, literally for dead, ultimately. Because you didn't know when you fell in love with them, but that was their plan from the very first moment they set eyes on you, actually. They lure you in and play you for a fucking gimp. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt. Must get some more Deify t-shirts made. I wonder where I can get that done. Vistaprint, I guess. Oh well. Jared's got the logo, but I guess I can, I don't know, make up another one somehow. I'll figure it out. I don't need anyone. I'm not dependent on anyone. I'm a free and autonomous woman. And where I fail, it's only failures because I don't have the knowledge on how to do things for myself. Anyway, Spirit keeps telling me that I'm leaving this house soon, and I'm pushing that away because to leave this house would put me in absolute danger of homelessness, or worse, being at the mercy of a false man. That can never happen. I can never leave this house unless I, gain my own wealth somehow. And at this late stage of life, that's not likely to happen. So I'm trapped. I'm trapped in a hell loop that I can't get out of. But I guess I'm not the only one. We're all trapped in various ways. I told the spook they were not welcome in my house, not allowed anywhere in my energy, or in the energy of my friends and or pets, or anywhere on this property, and to fuck off back to their original source. I then smudged Lynn and myself with Palo Santo. Gee, that wouldn't be a bad idea doing that right now, actually. In the middle of smudging Lynn, Housing Commission rang to tell me they had received my email about problems with my gas stove, which had gone on for over a year, and were sending a contractor. So that was good news. No more hauntings except for the funny diabolical comedies during the night. Legion indeed. My angels are funny. I should go into show business. I really should. I'm not going to lie though. I was seriously rattled. It's not cool for spirits to demonstrate their presence when I have friends or family visiting. It is enough to scare most people away. But as Lynn wisely pointed out, my mother tried very, very hard to isolate me from my true friends. She tried to push Lynn away 32 years ago. Gisela failed. Lynn held strong and has stood by me through thick and through thin. That's how much she loves me. I haven't always been a good friend to her either. When I'm not well, I throw fucking epic tantrums and wobblies and try to defriend everybody and try to chew my own arm off. Oh my God, I've done that before too. It's amazing I'm not armless. Well, you have to laugh. Oh, anyway, maybe I'll get legless on Friday night, take a bus and drink myself half to death and then go home. No one's ever seen me do that before in the Brisbane music scene. See me drink to the point of drunkenness. I guess I better not. Who knows what I might do. Anyway, I don't get drunk when I'm out. It's my trauma issues. They protect me from getting drunk. I get a little bit tipsy after about 4 or 5 drinks, and then I'm just, I'm done now. And I dance it all out of me anyway. So, yes, no one has ever seen me paralytic drunk. The first time I went to not the first time, maybe the second or third time that I went to the Brooklyn Standard, young Taylor was waiting for me outside. Lovely, he's a lovely young man. And and he was standing with Richard, the security guard. And I said to him, I said some random shit about wishing that I'd been a supermodel, but I'm too old and tired now and too short and fat. And I said, and supermodels don't have a very nice time of life either, raped every which way by their fucking managers and agents and you name it. It's disgusting what happens to those exquisitely beautiful women who deserve better, am I right? Taylor just looked at me. It's a random thing to say to a stranger. Things come out of my mouth, I don't even know why sometimes. And he nodded and he looked at me and said, I've dated a supermodel and what you say is true. It's not all a picnic for those women either. I thought, oh, what a lovely man, he gets it. He gets what it is I'm putting down, whatever random shit I was putting down in that moment, right? Anyway, he said to me, you've only had 3 drinks. I said, how do you know? He said, because I served you each time. I said, well, I don't drink to get drunk. I said, if I come here dancing and you see me stonkingly out of control drunk, I said, worry. I said, it'll mean someone spiked my drink. I said, I never go out with the intention of getting drunk. If I want to get drunk, I get drunk at home where I'm safe. Richard nodded, said, oh, it's good to know that. It's good to know that, Tanya. So you see me out of my mind, either, I'm having a stroke or, which I hope doesn't happen, or someone spiked me. So from that moment on, they knew they can trust me to conduct myself properly, and I can trust them too. My darling ones. But anyway, maybe it'll be good for me to just get drunk for a change and have a good blowout. But no, it's not good for my liver, so I won't be doing that. I don't need to drink myself to obliteration. I don't need to. I derive no real comfort from it, really. So, so what am I going on about? I have no idea. Just the need to be a bit wild and carefree, I guess, which I can do by moshing to my favourite songs. Don't need alcohol. Don't need alcohol at all. That's my superpower out in the club music scene. While other people are having to obliterate themselves to cope with their daily existence, I'm doing it by dancing. Anyway, where was I? On Lynn staying through me, thick and through thin. She's a beautiful soul who loves me deeply. Sometimes almost to the point of obsession, to be honest. I love you, Lynn. I do. But anyway, obsession. When my friends get a little bit too obsessed, I kind of detach for a while. Not completely if they're good and true friends, but I will go quiet for a while. I guess the same thing's being done to me, thinking that I've gotten obsessed. But I'm not obsessed. I'm not. Anyway, here I write. No matter what life threw at me, and it and my demonic fucking family threw everything at me. Yes, it did. Life. L'chaim. I stayed true, and so did my brave, beautiful friends. Real love is the machinery of the multiverses. Real, authentic loves and strong friendships. More powerful than the legions. 4:47 p.m. I finally, finished scraping off the resin on the pink marble table. Day 10 of working on it. Now I just need to buy the resin to coat it to protect the marble, meaning fresh resin to pour over it. and still need to do that, believe it or not. That's one job I haven't completed. Typical bloody Aries. We always leave things off half-cocked. But, on that note, take a break from this for a moment. I'm going to show you my pendant that's laid on my bench for 3 weeks because I lost confidence and I thought, I can't bear another fail. I've failed it so much lately. I can't sustain another failure. But yesterday the muse was riding through me and off I went, and look what I created. I'm very happy. It's not perfect. In fact, I can see some of the flaws already. It's not perfect, but I fought through to make it. The problem that I was blocked with for completing it was I couldn't get this woven sterling silver wire that I had braided. I couldn't get it to sit close enough to solder. And then I'll show you, I'll be really honest with you, because I'm not selling it, it's just for me. It's not perfect, so I wouldn't even feel good giving it as a gift. But a bit melted off. You see there's a gap there. Oh, come on. See that gap? We're a bit actually melted. And now technically I should have gone back in intrepidly and soldered a little piece of sterling silver to fill that gap. But I decided, fuck it. It's only for me. I'm going to set the stone anyway. And it's a bit wobbly because it didn't quite solder at the top. So really it's a bit of an abortion is what I'm saying. However, I like it. I'm going to wear it. And it's kind of a gift I gave to myself yesterday because I was so distraught about having to pull all my jewellery out of the shop that nothing had sold in 6 weeks. And I thought I'll just give up, not make jewellery anymore. I'm not very good at it anyway, and as you can see by all the flaws on this. And I'll just put everything in storage and give it up. But my inner daemon, my muse, the creature, the entity inside me that doesn't like being told no or giving up, said, finish off that pendant that's lying on your bench, Tanya. Cut the crap. You're perfectly capable of doing this. And if it doesn't sell, what does it matter? It's just more rejection and abandonment by your fellow species. And what does it matter? It's not like you need it to survive. You know, well, I did need it. I did need to get a little business happening so I can have a partner and buy my own home again and be autonomous, but it's too little too late at this late stage of life. So anyway, just looking at all the other flaws I'm picking up. But anyway, it's rustic, it's rudimentary, it's but it still looks kind of pretty. What do you reckon, Mama T? Actually, it would have looked nice as an earring, but I don't have a matching moonstone. But anyway, there you go. I can improve on these skills, and I'm quite proud of myself because I managed to solder on the bail. I had thrown this piece I had thrown this in the scrap. This is where my headspace is, how I give up on things and catastrophize a bit. I'm learning a lot about myself on this silversmithing journey. Lynn screaming, "Does she catastrophize?" I had to listen to the tantrums when she cried for hours over her failings. But I do. I hate failing. I'm queen of failure. I fail at love. I fail at prosperity. Well, I didn't technically fail at it. It was robbed and stolen from me multiple times. But the feeling of failure is the same, even though it wasn't technically my fault. I want to cry. You know, I fail at being a supermodel because I'm too short and fat and old. What else do I fail at? So many things that I want to cry. But I succeed at resilience and perseverance and going back in and going back in and going back in and going back in and getting up again and, 3 strangulations I shouldn't have survived, getting up again and getting up again and falling in love again and giving someone else another chance to either love me or kill me and getting up again. And that I'm a success at, a great success. So anyway, but I learnt a lot. I had, as I said, I had this top piece on the scrap pile ready to be melted down for another ring or something the next time I do casting. And I looked at it yesterday and I was like, I need to put a bail on my pendant. And that's a perfect bail. It's a perfect size. All I need to do is bend it to shape, solder it on. And so I did. And I'm very proud of that. Even though that little piece kind of melted, it's not that obvious. And that would actually look good inlaid in a guitar too. I got inspired in inlay when I had a dream about all these wonderful inlaid guitars, and then this lady that was giving away my air fryer on Free Cycle, 4 days later I went to her home to pick up the air fryer, and she invited me in. I stood in her living room. I don't know who that musician, who her husband is or was, but he had the most fucking exquisite inlaid with mother of pearl and power shell and another guitar. It was all inlaid with ivory and bone. And I've never seen anything like it. I just went like this and stood in awe. And that inspired me also to do my own bit of inlay on my cabinet that I got for free. But anyway, art and music and literature is why I'm alive today, being inspired by beauty and true love and passion and romance, even though it's all a bit fucking faked, and to lure me into some kind of hell loop to keep me close, because for some reason they like me but they don't like me enough, right? It's all right. I'm all right with it. Mama T is a free and autonomous spirit, and she goes with the wind. She comes and goes of her own free will and volition. And by the way, she loves you. Truly and deeply. Even if it can't be anything more than just dancing in my little small corner of hell and moshing. Might go back to my 360-degree mosh, because that should never have been a control drama anyway. Naughty once. But they meant well for me. Don't want me to lose my head, literally. Mama T never loses her head. Ever, ever, ever. She stumbles and she falls, but she gets up again. She might be armless from chewing her arm off, but she never completely loses her head. Can ask my psychiatrist about that one. Anyway, I'm happy about that. I'm really happy. I might make a chain for it as well. I looked at buying chains, but I want to have a go at making a paperclip chain, which is like the long rectangular paperclippy type links. So that might be my next project, something to go with this. And I don't want it to be too, I've made most of my chains quite long, but I quite like that sitting there. Might make a slightly shorter chain than I normally do. I'll think about it. I don't like short chains because, you know, I've got a short, thick neck and, well, anyway, let's hang it down low. Does it look better down low? Does it look better up high? Would look nice as a kind of a choker, but not on me because too short, too fat. Anyway. Kara mia more. Mr. Crow's over on the lines, watching me, watching him. Nevermore, nevermore. Anyway. Well, that's the last of the morning tea for today. I only had 1 cup, but that'll do me. Here I continue reading. Oh yes, I read about the marble table. Right, next, moving on, people. 11th of September 2019. Socks and Bobo are waiting for Sally to visit. Socks, being Socks, is guarding the food sources like a dragon with his treasure. Socks, Smaug. Smaug was the dragon in The Hobbit, in case you've not read The Hobbit. My little babies. He was such a good cat. Such a very good cat. And Bobo was a very good dog. And Mama is a very good mama too. Most of the time. Tree loppers just turned up. Oh, for the love of all the gods. Tree loppers just turned up unannounced from housing. I was on the fricking loo. But they are on orders to trim back 2 trees. Oh well, they could ring before they come out, couldn't they? Like just have a bit of fucking couth. They're supposed to by law, but they always just randomly show up and throw their weight around. Oh God, I hate that. Men throwing their weight around with me. Ooh. Anyway, my blood just ran cold. I asked them to cut back the 2 dead tea trees at the back too, which they kindly obliged. So that should appease my neighbour at the back, as it has been a source of irritation for him for quite a long time. I went out after the workmen left to apologise for the pain the living trees were caused, as it's not my land and humans love to tame the wild and woolly to fit their perceptions and truth to protect the roofing too. I will make an offering of milk and honey, as I don't want blowback from furious tree spirits and elementals. No, I do not. Although they know I'm actually on their side. I was deeply worried the men were going to chop the trees completely down. They cut back a lot more than last time. The contractor last year did fuck all and probably billed housing a large bill, because they come out, they're often bloody corrupt as well. You've got to watch them like a hawk. And if I'm not feeling well, sometimes I just don't really care. It's like not my monkey, not my circus, is it? But other times, I'll scrutinise them like a hawk. Anyway, I don't know what's happening with this steps. It's now Wednesday. They haven't come back to do the job. I guess they'll come when they're good and ready and not before. Small crack in that stone, so it was never perfect from the beginning. But anyway, it's still pretty and I put the work into it, so I can remind myself that I'm not a complete failure, am I right? So I don't get too despairing and distressed. Jesus. So it's a keenly wrought balance, I suppose. I love my trees, even if they are considered pests. Chinese elm and African tulip tree, which they threatened to chop completely down. I said, don't you dare. Oh, but they're pests. I said, they're old trees. They've been here for decades. Why would you murder something after it's been thriving for 50 years just out of what? Spite? So you'll chop those trees down over my dead body. They backed off like long dogs because they realised I meant it. They bring much joy to the garden. Of course, I know. As soon as I leave here, if I leave here because I've died, or if I leave here because I've somehow got money to move somewhere else, or I've left here because I'm moving in with some wonderful man who loves me, whichever of those scenarios manifests one day, as soon as I leave this house, they'll mow down all the trees and develop it. That's what they do. They kill everything. It's evil. Ancient, beautiful trees. It's probably why I've had such a run of very bad luck in the last couple of months, because I've got developments happening around the neighbourhood and they've killed the trees. So they kill the trees, all the elementals and the spirits go into shock and distress, and we have bad luck. And you know what? Humans deserve that. Killing other life forms out of what? Greed, corruption and spite most of the time. You know, don't need to kill all the trees. Now a plumber is on the way to replace my rusted off shower head. I was told I would have to wait up to 14 days, but nope, this morning hit the ground running. Yay, I'll be able to have a proper shower again. P.S. I have to laugh. When I win lotto. How's that for powerful, positive thinking? I will have the most opulent shower head and walk-in spa bath, laughing my arse off. But in the meantime, I'm grateful for the basic loving care provided me by the state. Rises to my full but ever shrinking height, standing on my dignity. I do love my home here. I do. I've been here 21 years now. But it's, it's not mine. Just exist here, I guess. I've made it mine though, with the garden and my last remaining fish pond. Oh, Santa Muerte took that fish, found it dead this morning, but I knew it was going to die. Wasn't doing too well. I don't know what killed it. I really don't. It's odd. Such a healthy, vigorous fish it was before too. So I've got one left. So I'm going to have to buy some more fish, because one fish on its own is not good. It will die too. Anyway, it's grieving at the moment. Yes, fish grieve. I've observed that. They grieve too when they lose their little friends. stolen from one of my more ribald, earthier friends, but somehow I find this hilarious. Everything comes down to the original wound, the space we either fought our way out of in a natural labour or were excised from. I was not born of that woman. Thank the gods I was not. Jesus. So I shared this meme and I laugh at it to this day. It's hilarious. There will always be a lie in belief, an over in lover, an end in friend, an us in trust, and an if in life. And then some wag at the bottom wrote, and a you in cunt. You say it gets me every time. I love it. It's true though. The original word. Oh, imagine it. But I thought that was very poetic. Oh, my heart's racing. I know, I needed that laugh. I really did. A good laugh can sometimes heal many original wounds. Just saying. 11/11 on the 11th of September with 101 Facebook friends, which again is a 1-1 number. What does it mean? Why, nothing, of course. It's a happy day for my friends who celebrate their birthdays today. Here's looking at you, even though I've blocked you. Ephraim Pardo, happy birthday. My dear sweet friend who used to push my buttons. Must be a Latino thing, is it? Do they like pushing buttons? Silly thing to do with the Tanya. Silly, foolish thing to do. Gaslight me or push my buttons. Anyway, I choose freedom and happiness over true love. Don't need any button pushers, that's for sure. Or false, shallow, fake men pretending to love me and then playing games. But I'm happy. I still love you all. Ironically, with great irony and humour. It's because I'm part fucking angel too, maybe. It's hard to tell. I don't know who I am anymore, to be honest. I've died too many times. Only the gods know who I truly am. Anyway. It's a happy day for my friends who celebrate their birthdays today, and a day of grief and darkness for those who died when the Twin Towers were destroyed. 11/11 is an angel number. Keep positive. Breathe. We got this. Thank you for the love, joy, peace, and abundance. For my soul friends and guides, and for my healing. Look after those who are still walking this earth lost between dimensions. Bring them into the light and heal their spirits and let their families still alive know peace. Amen. Protect those affected by fire, danger and loss. Give honour to those like me who are still finding balance after lifetimes of abuse and atrocities. Let us live in magic and wonderment, in great and true love, with our true, heartfelt, honourable lovers, friends, family, and community. Let no darkness disempower us ever again. Let the shades dissipate in the bright eternal light of the Ein Sof Or. Interesting I mentioned the shades because I wrote that this morning too. No, you cannot. I'm annoyed with you. Sorry, answering someone out loud. For darkness makes us grow, but it must hold no real power over us. Blows a kiss to the void and to my ever faithful avoidant. Yes, I feel his imminent appearance like a fucking globulous cameo figure in a B-grade horror movie. Ooh, baby girl, that was prescient, was it not? Oh dear goddess, what year did I write this? (2019). Well, we've all been living through a horror movie since 2020. So, the cameo figures, we're all playing our little game, our little cosplay, our little trickster game, our little drama. Trying to survive this epoch has not been easy, especially for those of us who have quite serious mental health issues. So I love you all and I choose to forgive, but don't ever, ever fuck with the Tanya. Forgiveness is a gift I don't give easily either. You have to earn it. It's all too hard. It's too much. It's too hard work. Me trying to be what am I trying to be? Nothing and no one. Just a fucking Heyoka gimp riding backwards on my horse through life. Mustang Quay. Riders in the storm. La 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 la. Riders in the fucking storm. Here we go, babies. True love, sighs. Move along, motherfuckers. Nothing to see here. Only your beautiful, exquisite, brave Tanya, strumming her face with your treacherous, fickle, fretful fingering. Oh, it's hilarious, innit? Obviously, I was in a dark place at that point in time too, 5 years ago. When you're in a dark place, you know what that means, babies. You're about to bloom again. As I wrote this morning, the 1,000-petaled lotus growing out of the muck and mire, declension and despair, other people's dissolutions, falsity, paucity, ugliness. I'm running out of flowerings. I'm an older woman now, alone, in reasonable poverty, in housing commission, without many of my closest friends anymore, without family, with nothing left but a CPAP machine and an attitude. Oh, you have to laugh. I'm running out of opportunities to bloom, big boys. But anyway, it's you know what? Doesn't matter. I see the funny side of it. So we'll carry on. Today I said goodbye to my beautiful friend Sally Castle, who was returning to New Zealand. I got a tad emotional, as Sally has always been such a wonderful support to me. I have such a small circle of close friends who I've been able to trust. So I kind of get a bit teary when they move away. Actually, it was a bit fucking hysterical, to tell you the truth. It's not like me, but Sally's a wonderful woman, has been very kind to me. Much love to you, my Sally. Sally was there for me in some of my darkest, craziest moments, and her love is authentic. Came to the hospital when after my suicide attempt, was there for me. And Jared was there too. I love you, my darlings. I do love you. Sally, you are a good, solid, strong, loving and generous woman, and I wish you much happiness in the next phase of your life back in Wellington. Much love always from me. And she wrote back, thanks, Tanya. You are pretty special yourself. Thank you for taking such good care of my kitty cats. And then she posted a photo of me standing in the spare room with Sophie and Socks on the spare bed, which was kind of their room that they used to sleep in. Socks used to sometimes come and sleep with me on my bed, but usually they stayed in there. Still got his ashes up on the mantelpiece in the beautiful rosewood box that Sally organised a cremation for him because I was too ill to bury him on my land here at that point in time. I had some terrible, terrible bronchitis, which the vets slandered me and said it was COVID, which it was not, and then wouldn't let me be there for Socks' death, so Sally's daughter Rachel had to be there with him. I was very upset about that too. There she is, my beautiful friend. Gorgeous. Her life has been wonderful for her back in New Zealand. She's got a wonderful man named another Peter, who loves her dearly, and they're so happy. And I'm happy for her that she went home and things are finally working out for her. Sometimes I wonder if I should go back, but I don't know how I'd survive. I don't think I'd get my pension over there. I don't know. I really should find out if it can be transferred over there, because maybe it's time to leave this place. I haven't had any real luck or joy here ever. Whatever joy I've had to create for myself, manifest it from deep within. Sometimes to the point where I wore myself out and almost bloody died. But anyway, my beautiful Sally. I wrote back, my pleasure. They are very lovely friends too. And I also wrote back, great photos of us. Kiss, kiss, kiss. Jesus, what's going on here? Right, 11th of September 2018, 1:11 p.m. Something big is happening. That was 6 years ago, people of Earth. Last night, Crystal and I both saw 11:11 p.m, then 12:11 a.m. In fact, I've been seeing 11 time sequences for days. So I guess I'm on the right path. My angels, supporters, family and all friends have my back, and the universe is smiling down upon me. Exciting. A fresh new year with fresh potentialities and much bliss, and most of all, shalom, which means peace. My cousin Megan wrote, I'm having the same synchronicity, all is well. Chrissy James wrote, yes, I keep seeing 1111 and 111 have been almost every day for a few months now. So we were kind of being, as a collective, us spiritual ones being tapped on our shoulder to pay attention because there was a shift coming. Who would have thought 2 years later that the shift was a COVID epoch? Pretty fucking shitty shift if you ask me. However, everything has its season and will run its course. Still trying to work out what the universe is trying to tell me because my life has just been going to shit lately. Lol. I hear you, sister. My friend Kellyanne wrote, well, the day before yesterday was September 11. Maybe it's trauma making the number reappear, or the trauma of thousands of people affecting you. Could be. But yesterday, I caught a lucky break, kinda. I won't read all that. That's all about her health issues and stuff like that. I don't know why I preserved that. Why did I preserve that? There must have been a reason for it. Well, anyway, sometimes I preserve my friends' texts to me and I'm not sure why. Must have felt important at the time. She continues writing, I needed the lucky break to balance out an unlucky one. Kid's still sick, judge not going to be happy. I can hear a tut-tut. Well, you can't help it if your children are sick. Jesus. Right, here we go. You were right about collective trauma though. I was so affected when I saw the Twin Towers fall that I started having fits, later diagnosed by a neurologist as hysterical conversions. But I was already concurrently dealing with other trauma issues from ex-lovers and my filthy, evil family. 2001 was a tough year. After the towers fell, I moved away from the house my mother bought to extort high rent from me, to harass and slander me, and 2 years later I got into my Housing Commission home. I had been on the waiting list for 3 years. Getting free of those cuntish arseholes, Gisela and her then boyfriend, later husband, Buck Shearer, was the best decision ever. Took a lot of doing to extricate myself from those evil bastards. And even then I wasn't free of them until they died. That's the reality, people. That's how evil they were. Jared and Crystal have gone home. I let Crystal take the car so I could go straight to bed. We had a lovely afternoon and evening together. I love my tiny family. There's a lot I can say about that right now, but I won't. Even the dogs were very high energy and excited tonight. It was lovely watching them frolicking around the back garden and in the house. A happy day. 11th of September 2017. My mother only slept 4 to 6 hours a night. I wrote that in response to an article. There's more evidence that losing sleep can raise the risk of Alzheimer's disease. It's the latest in a series of studies that show even a little sleep loss can add up to a greater risk of Alzheimer's, the leading cause of dementia. My mother didn't sleep very much at all. Actually, she slept only about 4 hours. My elderly former psychiatrist only slept 3 to 4 hours a night too. So what do you do with your time, doctor? He said, write medical reports for the court system, work on patents. He was a brilliant man. What else did he say he was doing? review patient files, looking at me meaningfully. Lots to review there, baby. He said, yeah, I'm busy all night. I don't sleep, so I have to keep active. He was an amazing and kind man. 11th of September 2016. Photo of Beauregard. Photo of socks. And where is he actually? I'd cut down my heliconias and he's just sitting in amongst all those. I need to cut them down again, but I don't feel well. Don't have the energy to do it. Fuck it. This is where I'm at, people. Flailing. I'm flailing. You wouldn't know that I was flailing when you see me out dancing on my few Jack Daniels, though. It's amazing what I do. It's amazing. I went to New Farm Park and I really loved this. Danger. Dancing is the vertical expression of a horizontal desire. A quote by Oscar Wilde. Yes, that's a sign at New Farm Park. Not far from the, what do they call that? Can't think what they call that. Playhouse or whatever. They have concerts and things there. Anyway. This was a painful day. It was after Dave Charles kicked me in the guts yet again. 11th September 2016. Oh, he was an arsehole. To me, anyway. I'm sure he's lovely to other people. But if I fall in love with a man, I don't know why they invariably turn toxic on me. I don't know why. I've done nothing wrong but love. It's a cruel fate. It's a very cruel fate. Sitting at New Farm Park, unfurling my turbulent emotions, confusion, grief, anger, like a hibiscus flower in champagne. Why am I doing this again? Why, Desiree? Beauregard is at my side. He is fascinated with people watching and cries and yelps when he spots another dog. Still a puppy there. The river is eddying along peacefully, and with it goes my pain, my sorrow, my stubborn cleaving to love's false promise. Freedom. I pay a hefty price, always have. The world turns on a dime, suns rise and fall. I am so very small and insignificant. Happy people all around me, families and lovers, a reminder of what I have lost and what I cannot gain. Last night I was wild, strong, rebellious, a warrior goddess in lacy tights and 6-inch heels. Today I'm a creature craving peace and comfort in a yawning cavernous solitude that suffocates me to my core. Breathe, Tanya. You got this. Been here in this raw emotion 1,000,000 times. What is one more time? One more time. One more. One more. Bobo presses his back against my back as I write. He is my protector, my guide, grounds me back from lost worlds of fog and shame and grief. My emotions swirl, twirl, hurl, But I fly in the face of my own madness, my own ridiculous love. The grass is cool and damp beneath my buttocks, hard, unaccommodating, but I bleed my soul into it. Let it soak and merge with Gaia, who knows best what to do with my distorted energy. I tried too hard. I danced and danced. I chanced to entrance. I was satiated with a glance, a smile, a rare occasional hug. I lived for love and I died for love, and love never met me as an equal. I was always digested, indigested, and purged like a sour grape in a sow's ass. My mother, God love her. She taught me how to fail in almost every aspect of my life. I fought hard, so long, and so hard. Then I let go, cut loose, released and almost deceased. But here I am, another day in paradise. Is it good? Is it bad? The staunch alienation, this freedom, this residual shockwave of a life immolated from beginning to end, but still poured love, breath and soul into it, drank from it, sang it, dreamt it. Arose and shone, then dove deep into my own putrefaction. Healed, all will be revealed, sealed, fucking congealed. From epic bullshit, beautiful things grow. That's another theme on the same day from today's earlier writings. Astonishing, isn't it? In strange directions and nefarious ways, striving to reach heights of our own imagination, never quitting, never obliterating that ugly delusion that was hope. I just wanted to go into my Facebook, and it's giving me the heebie-jeebies to read the same thing I wrote today. It's almost exactly the same thing, just worded slightly differently. So I've got chills and I'm freaking out about the spiritual significance of that it's been repeated on the same day with monotonous regularity. Patterns will be repeated, am I right? Till you shift the needle off that groove and begin a new song or a new pattern or a new life. It's taken my breath away, actually. Here I write, still on that veinette, a kiss from my dog. He knows, he loves me anyway, just like me, just for today. My beautiful boy he could sense the grief seeping through me that I'd been used and basically abused yet again by that man. Fucking arsehole he was. Well, there'll never be another one like that. I won't allow it. I'll be in jail next time that gets done to me. I swear to before all the gods, you'll be visiting me in jail. Cannot be allowed to happen again. Simply cannot. Then I posted a piece of prose by Jessica Arwen Rose. There she is, the too much woman, the one who loves too hard, feels too deeply, asks too often, desires too much. There she is, taking up too much space with her laughter, her curves, her honesty, her sexuality. Her presence is as tall as a tree, as wide as a mountain. Her energy occupies every crevice of the room. Too much space she takes. There she is, causing a ruckus with her persistent wanting, too much wanting. She desires a lot, wants everything, too much happiness, too much alone time, too much pleasure. She'll go through brimstone, murky fire and hellfire to get it. She'll risk all to quell the longings of her heart and body. This makes her dangerous. She is dangerous, and there she goes, that too much woman, making people think too much, feel too much, swoon too much. She, with her authentic prose and a self-assuredness in the way she carries herself. She, with her belly laughs and her insatiable appetite and her proneness to fiery passion. All eyes on her, thinking she's hot shit. Oh, that too much woman, too loud, too vibrant, too honest, too emotional, too smart, too intense, too pretty, too difficult, too sensitive, too wild, too intimidating, too successful, too fat, too strong, too political, too joyous, too needy, too much. She should simmer down a bit, be taken down a couple of notches. Someone should put her back in a more respectable place. Someone should tell her, here I am, the too much woman, with my too tender heart and my too much emotions, a hedonist, feminist, pleasure seeker, empath. I want a lot: justice, sincerity, spaciousness, ease, intimacy, actualization, respect, to be seen, to be understood, your undivided attention, thank you YouTube, and all of your promises to be kept. I've been called high maintenance because I want what I want, and intimidating because of the space I occupy. I've been called selfish because I am self-loving. I've been called a witch because I know how to heal myself, and still I rise. Still I want and feel and ask and risk and take up space. I must. Us too much women have been facing extermination for centuries. We are so afraid of her, terrified of her big presence, of the way she commands respect and wields the truth of her feelings. We've been trying to stifle the too much woman for eons in our sisters, in our wives, in our daughters. And even now, even today, we shame the too much woman for her bigness, for her wanting, for her passionate nature. And still, she thrives. In my own world and before my very eyes, I'm witnessing the reclamation and rising up of the too much woman. That too much woman is also known to some as wild woman or the divine feminine. In any case, she is me, she is you, and she is loving that she finally is getting some airtime. If you've ever been called too much or overly emotional by that bloodless cur Dave Charles, by the way, or bitchy or stuck up, you are likely a too much woman, but good enough to fuck, am I right? For that you weren't too much. Oh no, for that you were just a usable, movable feast like the vampires of old. Well, I have put a stake in your heart, motherfucker. Metaphorically speaking. And if you are, I implore you to embrace all that you are, all of your depth, all of your vastness, to not hold yourself in and to never abandon yourself, because there are real loves out there who will love me no matter what, truly, deeply and devotedly, with honour and integrity. And when we make love, it will be joyous, harmonious, orgasmic, magical, and I won't be shucked off the next day told I've got another woman coming at 5 o'clock like I was some dirty old rag. If I was a true Viking woman, I would have just sliced off his head, but then I'd be sitting in prison for the rest of my life, so he's not worth that. Losing my freedom, not worth. No man's worth that. Sisters, never lose your freedom for some bloodless, low-life entity dog. And they're even envious of my freedom, by the way. Had that reminder. Yes, envious of my freedom. Want to destroy even that. Forget everything you've ever heard. Your too muchness is a gift. Oh yes, one that can heal, incite, liberate, and cut straight to the heart of things. Do not be afraid of this gift, and let no one shy you away from it. Your too muchness is magic, is medicine. It can change the world. Yes, it can, babies. It truly can. Every video I make, raw, bloody, sometimes seeping pestilence is changing the world with my raw authenticity and honesty. Can't handle it? Unsubscribe. Turn me off. You go your way, I'll go mine. Peacefully, joyously, triumphantly. No harm, no foul. Don't believe me? Check this. All of your favourite women, the ones who've made history, the ones who've lent their voices for change and have courageously given themselves permission to be exactly who they are. Some examples. Oprah, don't like that woman much, but never mind. Rhonda Rousey, no idea who she is. Beyonce, Carly, Misty Copeland, Janet Mock, Mary Magdalene. This morning I woke up to a wonderful video of Janis Joplin, a far too much woman, but an amazing woman. And there's others I can think of that, this author has not listed. But you know them. Some of them you love deeply. They're in your life. They're all too much woman. So please, too much woman, ask, seek, desire, expand, move, feel, be. Make your waves, fan your flames, give us chills. Please, rise, we need you. Oh, the author was Evian Whitney. So that other person must have just posted it. But anyway, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. And I can identify as a too much woman. Always been too much. Always. Even as a child. Had to manifest my too muchness on the gravel rush of horror that I was raised in. Here she is. Howling like a wolf. Las Lobo Loco. Crazy wolf. Why not? If you're too much woman, why not be crazy like a wolf? Feast on the bodies of our enemies. Not literally. Most of them lack enough soul to have any flavour to them at all anyway. Motherfucking useless curs that they were. Thank you, I write. We rise and shine in honour of the divine feminine and the earth's battle cries. Rebirthing, recreating, confounding our enemies. That's how you do it, babies. 2016. My goodness, that's a long time ago. 8 years. September 11th, 2015. I'm very tired today, can you tell? 9 hours sleep. And I'm still fucking tired. I'm almost considering giving up with the CPAP. It's making me worse and not better, quite frankly. But I made my doctor a promise. I don't want to waste his money. It's a soul trap, a hell loop. Oh well, it could be worse. Could have been a of the COVIDian manifestations. I would have been dead already if I'd accepted that. That's for sure, without a doubt. So my angels protected me at least from that much. I wish they'd protect me from false, lying, feckless men playing games with my heart and mind. September 11th, 2015, 9:54 p.m. Just woke up. I'm going to rest tonight. Sophie just hopped up on my bed for snuggles. We are warm and cosy out of the wind. The quiet is music to my ears tonight. I will build up reserve for wildness tomorrow night. Meaning I was planning on going dancing. 6:23 p.m. In bed, exhausted. I only woke up at 1 p.m. Damn, maybe after a sleep I will perk up later. 11th of September 2014. Scrabblings above my head in the possum box. Little lady obviously slept there today, and smelling me so close in my hammock underneath has unsettled her. I will give her some apple tonight. That will cheer her up. Home again, lying in my hammock. Ye gods, I feel weak, so I'm going to lie out here and rest and read a good book and watch the sun die and a new night dawn. At Greenslopes Mall, this was earlier. Car registration paid thanks to a loan from a dear friend. I woke up after some very intense dreams, dreaming that I was lost and confused with Alzheimer's and had forgotten where I parked my car. Interestingly, in real life I sometimes do have to think hard where I parked my car at the end of nights out when I am tired. I had a shower, and when I went to brush my teeth, I had a terrible mouth thrush from being run down and stress. No wonder all I could do yesterday was sleep, and I felt weak and ill. So I got a treatment at the chemist, and I'm sure I will feel much better. Just as well I cooked a healthy dinner last night. I also bought yogurt mix, so I can make homemade yogurt, and that will help line my stomach with some healthy acidophilus and other microbial goodies. Now heading back home to rest. Tonight's angelic messages: 3:11, 11:11, 12:12, 1:11. Yes, universe, you have my attention. Please be kind. Don't send me any more stuff I can't handle. My mind is ready to schnupp, laughing my ass off. And then Jared wrote, look at the date, which was the 11th of September 2014. And I wrote, yes, I know, very significant of all the messages. I am ill today, but haven't missed the cosmic nudge, which means nudging or poking at you. We live in a world of miraculous life-saving technologies and sublime beauty. Keep smiling. We got this. Here's Miss 5, who was disinclined to smile at all. Actually, I think I was 4 there, if the truth be known. It's on the occasion of my sister's engagement. I was 5 when she got married, so I must have been 4 there. Anyway, little girl. Little girl. Never mind. 11th of September 2012. Here's another little girl in the form of a big girl rejoicing on buying her very first car. With my meagre inheritance that I had to fight so damn hard for. But here she is, looking triumphant, albeit kind of wrung out at the same time. 11th of September 2011. Why is that jumping back all the time? I wrote, it keeps jumping, stupid thing. We're right near the end too. Right, hold on to it. I'm not a square person, with lots of exclamation marks. Thank you, Felix character in Owl and in the Pussycats, skillfully played by George Segal. Neither the fuck am I. I've been around Peg, a well-rounded, cute but dumpy little thing, shoved into a stifling square, little expectation from society, family and boyfriends for so fucking long that I have only just remembered I don't fucking fit, never have, never will, and I like it. So the next time I am scoped at a community event in my Jewish community, that was fucking weird how they treated me that night too. Just inappropriate and weird. Scoped me everywhere I went. Followed me around like I was some threat. Beyond bizarre. By ballless individuals who were too frightened to bother to ask me politely who I am and follow me around like freaks. Well, ask anyone and they will tell you. But I would be truly impressed, complimented, and even flattered if you overstuffed, obsequious, upper middle class gentlemen, if you even deserve this Noma, would bother to speak to me in person. You are just so bloody undignified. And thus concludes today's readings of Even Date. But before we conclude, I want to, because I got chills before and they're multiplying and I'm losing control. No, not really. I'm not really losing control. I very rarely lose control. Just saying. But I just want to, will it let me log in?